It's in my final minutes of being alive, and to anybody that finds this, I want you to tell my parents I love them deeply, and I'm very sorry for doing this. To my brother, Sinister, aka Eric.
What starts as an online friendship quickly turns deadly. 4 lives lost, 1 twisted killer, and a chilling video confession that will haunt you forever.
Police in Farmville, Virginia believe this man's rap songs about the thrill of murder became reality. Charged with first-degree murder, robbery, and grand larceny of an automobile after 4 bodies were found in this home.
This is the true story of Richard McCroskey, a tale of obsession, horrorcore, and murder that shocked a community. Watch carefully, because nothing is as it seems. "It's my final moments," the man whispers into the camera. "If you find this, tell my parents I love them. I'm sorry to my brother Eric and to Emily. I don't know why I did it. I lost control." What begins as a brief, trembling apology soon grows unsettling. The surface remorse peels away in the longer recording, exposing a colder, harder edge beneath the words. Watch the full tape, and you'll see the act of pretending unravel, revealing the speaker's true mood. Neighbors first complained about a foul odor. They assumed a dead animal was nearby. Inside the house, police discovered something far worse. Multiple victims left where they fell. The man filmed his message while standing among them. Richard Alden Samuel McCroskey was born on December 26, 1988 in California. His adolescence was marked by cruelty from others and family turmoil. His parents split in 2009. His mother moved out, worsening his isolation. He tried 2 high schools and quit both. Richard became consumed by dark music and online personas. He posted violent lyrics and graphic images. Those online fantasies later mirrored the methods found at the crime scene. Listening to extreme music and playing violent games, he filmed himself boasting about desecrating graves and posed in cemeteries with weapons. The online persona that celebrated brutality fed the real-life horror he would go on to commit. When investigators cross-checked the recordings, social posts, and the scene, they pieced together a portrait of a troubled young man whose private obsessions spilled into deadly action. The tape he left behind captured both apology and something far more chilling. He recorded a short message. "This is my last chance. Tell my parents I love them." Under stage names such as Psycho Sam, he shared lyrics and imagery that celebrated murder. Those posts foreshadowed the brutal tactics used in the killings. Richard McCroskey's obsession was fueled by an online horrorcore community that validated his violent thoughts. It was there he met 16-year-old Emma Near Brock, who used the screen name Ragged Doll. Sharing the same fascination with dark music and gothic culture, Emma and Richard quickly became close, exchanging videos and messages that reflected their disturbing interests. Initially, their communication seemed harmless. Richard nervously recorded a video for Emma, showing glimpses of his room and his underground CD collection, awkwardly speaking to her while trying to impress her. He later cleaned his room and made a second video, demonstrating his desire to be accepted and validated by her. But this online friendship quickly turned dangerous. Born October 15, 1992, Emma lived in Farmville, Virginia, with her parents, her father a pastor and her mother a professor. After her parents' divorce, she lived with her mother. Once described as sweet and polite, Emma had transformed in her teenage years. Dyed pink hair, gothic clothing, and an interest in violent, dark subcultures hinted at a growing obsession that her parents did not fully understand. By September 2009, Richard's attachment to Emma had intensified. Though they had never met in person, he considered her his girlfriend. Emma's best friend, Melanie Wells, shared similar interests, adopting the online name Mrs. Free Abortions and posting disturbing content about cemeteries and violent imagery. The 2 girls regularly attended horrorcore festivals, immersing themselves in the music and aesthetic they loved. The Strictly for the Wicked festival on September 12, 2009, would finally bring Richard and Emma together. Despite parental concerns, Emma's parents allowed her, Melanie, and Richard to travel to Michigan for the event. Richard arrived days in advance, staying at Emma's house, an unusual arrangement given that he was essentially a stranger, connected only through shared online interests. When Emma finally saw Richard in person, the image she had formed online shattered. He appeared shorter, younger, and less imposing than his photos suggested. His oversized hoodie, baggy pants, and unkempt hair only added to her disappointment. Both Emma and Melanie grew frustrated with Richard's awkwardness and apparent immaturity. Richard had hoped the festival would rekindle the connection he felt online, but Emma seemed distracted, enjoying the concert with others. His frustration and jealousy mounted as he saw her interacting with other attendees. The festival ended at 11 p.m., and they began the long drive back to Farmville, unaware that these events would soon trigger a chain of horrifying actions. Melanie Wells's disappearance shortly after the festival was the first warning sign that something was terribly wrong. She was last active online on September 14th, posting about returning home. When her family received no contact from her, anxiety quickly grew. By September 16th, her father arrived at Emma's house only to find it empty. Hours of waiting brought no answers. Her mother, Kathleen, desperately reached out to friends and the festival organizer, but still received nothing, the first hint that something far more sinister had taken place. In the horrorcore community, fans and artists were tightly connected. One member, Andre, confirmed to Melanie's mother that he had seen Melanie, Emma, and Richard at the festival, leaving with Emma's parents. Concerned, Kathleen called Emma's house again. This time, Richard answered, giving vague explanations about Melanie's whereabouts. Something about his story did not sit right with her. She could sense he was hiding the truth. By the morning of September 17th, Kathleen decided to involve the police, requesting a welfare check on Emma's home. Richard confidently met the officers and claimed that Emma and Melanie were at the movies with her mother. He posed as Emma's boyfriend, and his calm demeanor led the officers to accept his story without inspecting the house. Later, Kathleen called Emma's father, Mark, to check on Melanie, but by 5 p.m., he had not been able to reach anyone. The silence only intensified the fear that something was wrong. On the morning of September 18th, Kathleen contacted the police again, insisting they return to the house. At 3:20 p.m., officers arrived and found the front door unlocked. Richard was nowhere to be found. Immediately, a nauseating stench of decaying bodies hit them, a smell they had somehow missed during the earlier visit. Inside, the police discovered a horrifying scene: 3 bodies downstairs in pools of blood and another upstairs. The victims were later identified as Mark Near Brock, Emma Near Brock, Melanie Wells, and Deborah Kelly, Emma's mother. Blunt force trauma had caused their deaths. As investigators examined social media and other evidence, the picture became clear. Richard had been the last person with them. A manhunt for him was quickly launched. 12 hours before the bodies were discovered, Richard had been pulled over for driving without a license after getting a car stuck in a ditch. He casually mentioned the car belonged to his girlfriend's father, raising no alarms at the time. The motive soon became apparent: Richard's anger at Emma for rejecting him. The other victims had simply been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Under the influence of alcohol and marijuana, he attacked Melanie while she slept on the couch, then went upstairs to kill Deborah, and finally murdered Emma in her bedroom. He waited until September 17th to kill Mark when he came to check on Melanie. Afterward, Richard lived with the bodies for days, even recording a video contemplating suicide. Eventually, he stole Mark's car and attempted to flee to California. On September 19th, Richard McCroskey was apprehended at Richmond International Airport, sleeping in the baggage claim area. He was charged with robbery, grand theft, and 6 counts of first-degree murder. He pleaded guilty and received a life sentence in prison, ending the terrifying series of events that had shocked the horrorcore community and the nation. If you want more chilling true crime stories and shocking confessions, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Don't miss a single story that will keep you on the edge of your